And shout out to Brittany and Rachel. Gracias for that follow. And anybody else that I didn't mention your name, un chingo de gracias. Meg, thank you for the follow. What state is this? This is Arizona. Bison, thank you for the follow. Let me see. Haley shared the live. Gracias. FYP in here. That's right. Ellen.
All right. Looks like we are to our last two matters. That's going to be for Charles Black and Kristin Black. You both have identical information, so if you both want to come in here, I can do both of your hearings at the same time, and then I'll address you both individually.
Okay? Don't do them at the same time. Do it separately.
All right. And let's go ahead and get your full names and date of birth, Mr. Black, if I could start with you.
Charles Black, 5981.
All right. And Ms. Black?
Kristin Black, 101481.
All right, thank you.
Oh, they're an item.
So both of you are here on fugitive of justice warrants. They are both warrants issued out of the state of Florida, out of Brevard County. So in each of those matters, Florida was notified you were arrested on the warrants, and I think they were recently issued. They were issued this month.
Yeah.
But they indicated that those warrants were valid at this time and that they would extradite on them. Okay? So you were given that laminated sheet as well. Did you both have an opportunity to read those?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you know that you basically have an option here to make. I know you just heard me go through this with someone else, so it's pretty much the same choices. Yours might be a little bit different, though. So in each of your cases, you do have the option to waive extradition here today or to choose not to waive extradition, and I'll go over both of the choices that you have. If you choose to waive extradition, you would be returning to the state of Florida on these warrants, and you're agreeing to do so without having any further hearings here in Maricopa County. So if you choose to go that route, you would be held in the Maricopa County Jail, non-bailable, so you'd be held without any kind of bond being possible, until Florida comes to pick you up on the warrants. Now, Florida, in turn, has 30 days starting tomorrow to come do that. Now, they have that 30-day time frame unless you have any local open cases. If you do have any local open cases, and I'm not aware of any, I just want to make sure this is on, just that I put this out there. If you do have any, the 30-day time frame doesn't start until after the local case is completed, okay? That's if you choose to waive extradition and return to the state of Florida. Now, if you choose not to waive extradition, which is your right to do, you would be demanding to have an extradition hearing or fugitive from justice hearing here in Arizona. And in that case, I'd be setting that hearing for you on February 3rd at 1:30. That would be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Now, in that matter, I can't appoint attorneys to represent you because this extradition case is civil in nature. Even though it's a criminal charge out in out in Florida, the actual extradition proceedings are civil. You do have the right to retain an attorney to represent you. There are also sometimes public defenders present at those hearings who can provide assistance, but there's just no guarantee of that, okay? Now, in that case, you are bondable. I will let you know, Florida has this as a no bond warrant, okay? But under the circumstances of the warrant, I cannot legally hold you without bond, but it is a pretty significant bond that you do end up with. So each of you would have a $50,000 cash-only appearance bond. That's a cash bond. That doesn't mean you need to post that full amount, okay? So in that case, the process there would be that a governor's warrant has to be signed by the governors of both states, so both Florida and Arizona, in order to extradite you back to Florida. That can be a longer process. That can take up to 90 days. That's the time frame they have to execute that warrant, okay?
Sure.
All right, you can also choose to waive extradition at a later date. You're going to get the same choice I just gave you today. You'll get that at your next hearing as well if you want to wait to think about it. But first of all, I'll ask you, Mr. Black, any questions regarding that?
I got a lot, but hopefully they're good ones. We have children, and
I'll let you know the choices I gave you, no matter what your situation is, no way around them.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's totally fine. What I'm wondering is, for that February 3rd date, if we choose to, is it possible to move it up?
It is not.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't choose the dates. They're
okay.
actually set for us. And actually, February 3rd is actually faster than you're sometimes going to get in here. So.
Can she
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. No, someone else had mentioned the possibility of Florida being required to pick us up sooner than 30 days. Is that an option? Just because our 3 kids are under the age of 18 and we have no family here.
They could pick you up. The 30 days is the maximum time frame that they have.
But we can't
order them to pick you up any faster. They have a 30-day time frame to pick you up.
Law.
They could pick you up within the next week, or they could pick you up on day 29. They just have to do that sometime within the time frame.
And when can we see what these charges are? Because we still don't know.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know,
Yeah.
because they actually sent over the warrant. So in your case, I actually have that here.
They haven't said it. They're about. She said she was going to let them know. So just pay attention.
All right, Mr. Black, in your case, it is 7 total counts. 2 of those are for organized fraud, and the remaining counts, the remaining 5 counts, is for unlawful filing of a false document.
Ooh,
Now, again, this
EDD
is
fraud.
under Florida law, so I can't give you any information other than what the statute is called here, okay? So in each of those cases, or in each of those, oh, nope, they don't even give a date of offense.
Wow.
Yep, that's the only thing I can give you. That's that. They just have the charges listed on the warrants.
Do
Ms. Black, I think you have the same, but let me go over and I'll double check and make sure it's the same.
Damn. So I'm guessing they did some of that fraud, for
Same
those.
charges on both of these.
does it give
Names?
names or anything?
It does not. No, I don't even usually have the charges here. I usually only have a warrant printout, because the only thing that we're seeing you on is the warrant.
Right.
I'm not seeing you about any of the charges that you're here for or anything. I have no information on the actual case over there, because this is Florida's case. The only thing I'm seeing you on is the warrant.
Wow. So
Yeah.
two charges of what was it again? Organized fraud. And then
2 counts of organized fraud, obtained property, that's the only thing that's written there. And then the remaining 5 counts are unlawful filing of a false document.
I know what that could be.
So, and if you do choose not to waive extradition and go to that hearing next time, you might be able to get more information at that time, but this is all I have here today.
Okay, sorry, this is just so much to process all at once. So we don't get the option to talk to an attorney before we make this decision. You're telling us make it right now or wait until February, whatever.
Yeah, at this time, you do have to choose one way or the other. If you're not sure how you want to proceed, because you do want to consult with an attorney, what I would do is I'd have to set that February 3rd court date, and you could certainly see if you could arrange something prior to that date.
So on February 3rd, we're bondable.
No, we're bondable.
You are bondable. You've got each have the $50,000 cash only appearance.
We're bondable now. Is that what you're saying?
If you choose to have the February 3rd court date, if you choose not to waive extradition, I'm going to set a bond, and you would be bondable from here on out, yes, up until that court date.
Okay.
100 racks
Am I
for
allowed
both
to
of
make
them.
a phone call before I make?
Why not? Unfortunately, you're already here in front of me. So again, this is one of those things where if you're not sure how you want to proceed, then I do have to set the hearing, because then I can't say that you're making a knowing waiver anyway, so I just have to automatically set the hearing for
I
you.
just have one more question about the February 3rd court date. So we're bondable until that date. We show up for that court date. At that court date, could you then say, we're putting you back in jail to extradite you, or what does that look like?
Let's say at that court hearing, they have something to show that you should be non-bondable. I don't see anything in here showing that you can do that under Arizona, but that's entirely possible. I can't say what's going to happen at that time. Does that typically happen? No.
Okay.
But if you go to the February 3rd court date and then tell the commissioner who's there at that time, okay, we want to waive extradition, we don't want to deal with this, we're going to do the 30 days and waive extradition, at that point you would remain in custody, non-bailable, because as soon as you waive extradition, as soon as that's set in stone, you do have to be held in custody till Florida comes to pick you up.
Okay, so by choosing the date, it gives us the option to post bail bond, whatever it's called, and then I think we need the space to make that decision.
But we don't lose the $50,000 if you show up, right?
So that is an appearance bond.
Okay.
Okay? So as long as you show up and otherwise comply with that appearance bond just stay in place it basically guarantees your appearance. That's what it is.
Yes.
Okay? So it's not a fine, it's not anything like that, okay?
And it's cash.
It is, yeah.
Cash
We
money.
need to leave a space, and maybe for one of us, it could, both of us, I don't know, but it gives us time to contact attorneys, people. I mean, otherwise, we're in here for 30 days.
And then, so we have a hearing. I'm just sorry. I'm just trying to figure it out. We have a hearing on the 3rd. What does that hearing do?
So that basically starts off the non-waiver proceedings, okay? So, because if you choose not to waive extradition, we have to go through a process here in Arizona to issue a governor's warrant.
Okay.
Okay, so those proceedings have to get started.
Okay.
And so that's why we set the hearing. So you'd have that hearing, and then they'd probably set another one down the road to, you know, keep up with the progress of getting that issued.
Okay.
Because basically those proceedings are geared towards ensuring that the warrant is valid, that you should be extradited on it, and getting the governor's warrant signed.
And can I ask, at any time, could we go to Florida and turn ourselves in?
If you get permission to leave state, okay? So let's say you post bond, okay? Let's say you post bond prior to that February 3rd court date. You go in, you're going to be, I believe it's still in front of Commissioner Spencer, and you let her know, hey, we're out on bond, but we'd like to go see if we can address that. It is entirely up to her whether she does that. And I don't know how common that is. I don't think it's very common, but it's certainly up to her as to whether she would allow you. Because basically it's, are you allowed to leave state under your release conditions? Okay.
Oh, I see.
Monday through Friday normally.
Okay, so we would get, when that gets reissued, if we let it play out the 60 or 90 days, we would get rearrested, and this whole process just starts all over again. At that point, we have 30 days here, or...
You mean if they issue the governor's warrant?
Yes.
Yeah. So once the governor's warrant is issued, that's saying, yep, extradition's going through. So whether you want to or not, whether you waive it or not, extradition's going through. And yes, you would be held in custody then until Florida comes to pick you up.
And then they still have 30 days?
Then they have a 30-day time frame.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do we have the ability to show them that?
But usually that is quicker. I'll let you know. It usually isn't the 30 days.
Because it's already
because they've already gone through the process of the
Yeah.
governor's warrant. But go ahead.
Do we have? Is there any point where we are able to defend this to show that it's not what Florida is saying it is to the state of Arizona, or
that's
no?
what you would have to talk to an attorney about.
Okay.
Yeah, because again, the only thing you're seeing on here is the extradition proceedings, which is basically, should you or should you not be extradited back to Florida on the warrant? That's it. Yeah, it's not really to defend the charges. It's not to do anything else, because that's all the Florida.
And they have it as non-bondable. So we go there.
They
and
currently
we're
have your
stuck
warrant as a no bond warrant. Yeah.
It's so malicious.
But is that because we're here or not there?
I don't know why they've done it as a no bond warrant. Yeah, they don't provide a basis for it. I'm just letting you know that's what's in the warrant.
They don't.
But it's not one that I can do legally here in Arizona. There's only certain circumstances I can hold people non-bailable. Yours is not one.
Oh.
Okay, so I feel like we should pick the further out date, see if bail's an option. It buys us a week.
Can we waive at any time between now and then?
Between now and the 3rd, no, because you won't have any hearings until then. That'll be your first hearing, so that would be your next opportunity to waive.
And then, so if we don't get bail, we're adding time to our time.
What to do?
But you said the bail is something that we'd get back, or no? You pay it and it's gone forever.
It's not gone forever. No,
Oh, okay.
that's not the purpose of bail. The purpose of bail is just to ensure your appearance.
Okay.
So let's say you fail to appear at the next court date, they're probably going to move for a forfeiture of that amount.
Right. Understood.
I think I have one more question. So the governor's bond, where they do their thing, what is that? What is involved? I mean, what is that process?
They get all the information on the warrant itself. They send it up to each governor's office, and they say, this is a warrant out of Florida. Should these individuals be extradited back to Florida? Do we have the legal right to extradite them back there?
And Arizona has the right to say no?
Arizona, the governor in Arizona could opt not to sign off on it.
Oh.
They're not in Orange because they just got picked up, maybe like last night.
An attorney.
Yeah.
So they haven't been
Yeah,
processed.
that is a conversation to have with
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But I'm saying that's why I think we need to buy ourselves some time.
Okay.
All right, do you want me to enter in a non-waiver, at least at this time?
What should we do? What? Come on.
I have a question about cash, and I think this is my last question.
Is that your final answer?
Can it be collateral? Like, can that still go through a bondsman is what I'm asking.
Nope.
So
cash doesn't
money.
mean you have to post the full amount.
Okay.
It's my understanding some of the bonding companies might work with cash bonds, but I'm sure it's pretty steep terms.
Oh, okay.
And I can't say for sure what that would be. Okay, but otherwise plan on it being the full amount.
Okay.
You can readdress bond if you choose to continue with the extradition proceedings. You can readdress bond once you're at your next court date. As far as whether it would change, I don't know.
For lower.
Yeah.
But if we post bond tomorrow or whatever, it doesn't matter.
And then these actual charges, we don't ever get to see unless we have an attorney, or how do we?
Right?
They might have more information at your next court date.
Okay.
Yeah, they usually get some additional information at that point regarding the warrants, but I'm just telling you what I have at this point.
Okay.
If I had to guess, I would say that it was a PPP loan,
Yeah.
but that's just a guess on my end. I haven't looked up.
I'm
I
not
haven't
ready
looked
to
them
leave.
up.
Yeah.
Are you right now?
No.
What do you guys
I
think?
guess the
Go ahead and do the non-waiver.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Can we push the February 3rd date out?
I cannot. Yeah, those, we're given those
I know.
dates. Yeah, we don't choose those. We're given those and assigned them. All right, those are both signed now.
It's cash.
All right.
They
So
don't
we'll
get
go ahead and
10%.
get the paperwork printed out for both of those. It's going to have the release terms on it. It'll have the next court date on it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if you want to go ahead and have a seat, we'll get those out to you
Okay,
in a moment,
thank
all
you
right?
so much.
So
Should we
let's keep
leave
on-
these
or
here?
bring these with
You can
us?
leave those.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So the PPP loan are those loans
Yes.
that they were giving away
Yeah,
to
they're
businesses in during
All
the
right,
pandemic.
so it looks like we are to our house calls here. We have two separate house calls. First one is for Laura Box, date of birth 1/27/71.